We are not done yet. And maybe, just maybe, the best is yet to come.
While Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin revealed to Nightline that it was hard to say goodbye to Grace and Frankie after 78 episodes.
It's also bittersweet, a little sadness.
Just out of the blue, a couple of days ago, Lily said, I miss Grace and Frankie, and I knew what she meant.
It concluded just the way I wanted it to. Grace and Frankie are just going to keep on being Grace and Frankie.
Now what?
Did you recognize that final line? That was actually Jane's final line in the first episode that kicked off the 7 seasons of hijinks.
Now what?
The show's creator, Marta Kaufman, told The Hollywood Reporter that not only did they want to use that line as the last line to call back to the pilot, but the implication of now what is that there's more. That the show may be ending, but they aren't. Now they have the next journey to look forward to. In terms of them on the beach, it's just the iconic look that we have on the show that we most of the time end on. And actually that final shot of them walking along the shoreline is very similar to the shot towards the end of the first episode as well. Jane used that image as part of the letter that she posted to fans on her website, writing, "Dear Grace and Frankie fans, I'm writing to thank you for your support of the show over the years. I've heard about the binge watch parties, grandkids watching with the grandparents, the Halloween Grace and Frankie costumes that fans have sent pictures of, and all the fan-created Grace and Frankie merchandise and gifts. Lily and I have been buoyed by the heartfelt appreciation from our older fans who have told us they felt seen on a small screen in ways they had not experienced before. I mean, seniors and vibrators. Who would have thought? Most profoundly, Lily and I will never forget the stories we've been told about women who were losing hope following a tragedy, but found hope again when friends and family suggested they watch Grace and Frankie. Hope is needed now like never before, and I'm deeply gratified that our show helped spread some around. With love and gratitude to the fans, Jane."
We cried. I cried. She probably didn't cry.
I did cry. I cried more than you cried.
Oh, no.
While they debate who cried more, there was still plenty of laughs to be had as they shot the final episode.
Are you ad-libbing?
Would I ever? I did what you did. I f***ed up a line and I said it again. What, you're the only one on this set that can do that?
I think there's an appreciation to be part of this story. I think we all realize how groundbreaking it is to be telling these stories in this time together for so long.
Tell me when you're going to start again, so I'll put the right,
Are you that kind of actress?
Well, I mean, you can't just start. I'm looking in the wrong place. You.
And that final shot of Robert and Saul might not have been as romantic if the elevator door hadn't closed.
Not with that beard.
As I deal with the final season of This Is Us, where sadness is plentiful, I don't think I could take one of them dying or even one of them moving out of the beach house. And Marta says separating the characters was never considered. There's one thing we always knew. Grace and Frankie have to end up together. That we knew. What we didn't know was how we're going to get there, and we wanted it to be satisfying and surprising, but no, we never once considered actually killing them.
It says, if you have a problem, talk to your case manager.
Seeing the white light did allow for a reunion to happen.
Well, hi, girls.
The 9 to 5 trio were finally back together with Dolly making an appearance.
I'm Agnes, just a working class angel.
Lily revealed to SiriusXM back in 2017 that they've been trying to get Dolly on the show since the beginning.
We expect Dolly to be on the show one of these seasons. She wants to be on it, and we want her on, and it just hasn't been worked out. It's difficult to get scheduled.
It seemed, oh God, we've been waiting. We've been standing here by the bus stop for ages waiting for you to show up. Yes. And now we can really go home.
So they got her on with literally minutes to spare in a brief role. And back then, Lily said that was something they were trying to avoid.
You don't want her to just come on and make a little appearance. You want it to be indelible and rich.
And the duo told Kelly Clarkson that having Dolly on the finale as Grace and Frankie's case manager was heavenly.
We're just so excited that the show was going to end with the three of us.
The way she is in the last episode is just perfect. I mean, you couldn't think of a better way to have Dolly appear.
And really, they were back in an office setting. Brooklyn Deckler was a big fan. She Instagrammed a moment from the scene, and she had the crying emoji, and then the other emoji, I still don't know exactly what that means. A level up is what I think it means. I don't know, somebody tell me.
And I certainly can't tell you to take this stamp here on the right side of my desk and mark return on your paperwork.
So while Dolly was the reason we didn't see either character's death,
I would never do a thing like that.
we still had to accept that we wouldn't be seeing what's next for Grace and Frankie, but we might get to for another character.
But I want to say one thing. June has written a spin-off of Grace and Frankie.
That's true.
Brooklyn dropped a bombshell on Watch What Happens Live, and I'm not sure Diane Raphael wanted it to be dropped.
It's called Brianna, and it's in the hands of Netflix.
Wow.
Now.
Yeah, after June expressed how hard it was to say goodbye,
I love the show, I love the characters so much. And it's really, really emotional because we love it and don't want it to end.
and emotional is a bit of an understatement.
So we just had our last table read. Tell me your thoughts. Isn't it beautiful?
So June told The Hollywood Reporter, after Brooklyn revealed it on live television, that it felt very organic to continue Brianna's story.
You know, I'm thinking about starting a new business. You in?
Turns out I'm available.
I think I just found the perfect name.
What is it?
Beauty
Can we
bitch.
talk about the name?
No.
Fans will see that the way the show ends, there's more to say about Brianna's story. In the same way that the original tackles what it means to be in your 70s and 80s, I think exploring what it means to be a middle-aged woman without children or a husband is equally exciting. Andy was immediately sold on the idea of a spin-off of Netflix's longest-running show.
It would be rather dumb of them not to continue the legacy.
Thank you. With who they
So,
know works.
Let me just
Who
say,
they know audiences
as
love.
I'm sold too. And I know people always talk about spin-offs of various shows, and some of them just don't make any logical sense. Like the people that are asking for This Is Us spin-off, like they want the Randall show, they want the Kate show. I don't think they've ever seen an episode of This Is Us and know what the narrative structure of that show is. Anyways, here it makes a lot of sense. The supporting characters around Grace and Frankie were never that compelling, except for Brianna. She stood out, and yeah, I can easily see more stories being told with her, but yeah, I want to hear your thoughts. And yeah, what did you think of the finale? Were you happy to finally see Dolly Parton on this show? And were you as relieved and satisfied as me that Grace and Frankie are just going to keep on walking, even though we don't get to see them anymore?